Hello everyone and welcome back to Niche, the Rise of Heroes. And we are here with Tay, who is currently settled down by her berry bush, which she's been defending quite fiercely. And let's actually see... Yeah, no, she didn't manage to dig up that root, unfortunately. I was hoping she could at least give it a try. And some of you guys pointed out that Alex and Tavi did not actually successfully breed last time. And so I'm going to do that again, and as to their immunity genes, because they do both share the C immunity gene, it's still worth breeding them, I'm pretty sure, because Alex has this cracker jaw, and we don't really have another creature who doesn't have the C immunity who would be good at bringing that into this line. So we're going to still breed them and just be a little bit cautious. We've had one or two sick creatures in this tribe before, but for the most part, our tribe has been fairly healthy. And so hopefully they will still carry on that health as well. Now, let's come back up here. And I think, okay, Nuvon, poor Nuvon is still bleeding. He got slapped by Remiana for stealing her berries, and it may have been a little bit of a harder slap than she meant it to be. She doesn't really want to hurt him, but she's not going to tolerate him taking her berries like that. Unfortunately, he ended up having some pretty poor genetics, so I don't know that we're going to invite him into the tribe. But we'll have to see. He's got really bad immunity. Fertility. He's got, he has the blind eyes. He has the flipper feet. He just doesn't really have a lot of the genes we're looking for in the tribe. And then we've had, like, an astonishing number of bearyenas. It's like a whole pack of them is creeping out of the grass at us. So that's been a little bit interesting. But we do have to, yes. Okay, we do have to name Roku here, and some of you guys suggested names for him. We weren't sure what to call him last time, but the one that I really, really like is actually Clifford. Some of you guys made that connection, and I think it's great. So we'll go ahead and call him Clifford. I've added the other suggestions to the name list, so you may still see them pop up later. And let's see here. I don't think we already befriended. Yeah, we befriended that bearyena, and Rain is actually chasing down this bearyena, which is still friendly but not tame, and has been quite curious about him. But let's actually see. So we had Rakois. Oh, we should name Rakois too. We have Little Rose, and I think we'll actually go ahead and name Rakois here Tulip, because that is a similar flower. And a similar flower name, but it does fit her very bright fur as well. And then let's have Rose step out of the nest, and we'll try and breed Ari and Rota again, because we need to make sure that we get a male with wings so that we can try and breed that into the line. And, of course, we have little Tira, who we're keeping track of here with Ghost. Ghost is pretty much becoming a legend in her own right, honestly. She is our lead healer at the time. She's basically responsible specifically for this healing fruit, which her brother Kuro is now guarding. But she's quickly become known for her healing knowledge, and is hoping to pass that on to her children here now. Perhaps Kuro will have to find himself a mate at some point as well, but we shall see. Now, Willow, I think, will have ventured deeper into the woods here. Oh, she actually found, I'm pretty sure that's Wolven's nest, where, man, a long time ago, I wonder if they're still in our family tree. It doesn't look like it. Yeah, I don't think so, but I'm pretty sure, it wasn't Glen, was it? No, who was it? It was... Now I can't remember which... Oh, no, there's Wolven. So, yeah, it was Glen. And Glen is actually on his last day over here. He's reached the end of his life, but he got to spend it hunting bunnies. And that was what he really wanted, so he spent it well. And let's see over here. We can bring... I want to keep Ivana kind of close, I think. And maybe we'll have her come and help gather over here. But I think we'll actually send Clifford down this way, and maybe he can help Rain very, very curiously chase down this bearyena and see if he can help invite it into the tribe. Now, we'll leave that grass there. I don't think there's too much more we can do. Maybe we could bring Rome over here and see if, yes, he can knock down some more acorns for Isnara there. That's a good thing. And I think that's actually it about it for this turn. We did leave off kind of mid-turn last time, which is not something we typically do, but it worked out okay. So let's go ahead and we'll start a new day, and we will bid farewell to Glen. And Glen has left a legacy. Yes, he has. He actually is the father of several of our bearyena children, and actually the father of Rome as well. We were just looking at Rome. But yeah, he is the father of many of our bearyena children, and those in the bearyena line. In fact, it might be worth breeding some of these guys again soon. They're not getting super old, but it might be worth seeing if one of them perhaps could breed with one of our leader brothers here. Now, BC, AC, and BC. So, Raana is not an option. Willow could be. I'm going to go ahead and mark the ones who could be with blue, because we want to make sure we know which of them could be a possibility. And then I think Hayden is over here. Hayden has C, yes. And who were the other ones? Who was Glen's? Rome, Raana, Azure, and Willow. Okay, so we looked at... So we have we looked at Raana? Raana is not an option, and Azure is not an option. So Willow is currently the only option. Let's make sure, or at least for of those who could breed with one of these without having, with one of the brothers without having potential immunity issues. So we'll keep an eye on them there and see if something may come from that. Oh, nice job, Raana. She got a little bit lucky and managed to dig up that root there. That's normally something we would reserve for those like Glade, but it looks like Raana saw it first. But I think we'll go ahead and we'll start a new day. Let's zoom in on Glen here as we bid him farewell. He can rest easy knowing he's left a legacy with the tribe. Oh, I think that was just our wanderer. I almost feel bad for him. I mean, he stole our berries, and I see something very exciting here, so we'll come check that out in just a moment. But, yeah, I feel a little bit bad for him because I don't think that was quite the intent. But yeah, he's maybe not doing so well. Perhaps we'll have to see if we can track him down. Where did he even go? Do we still hear him somewhere? I don't actually know where he went. He's disappeared, it seems. So, but first things first, too, let's make sure that Rain offers some food to this bearyena that she's been following, and we can bring Clifford down here to say hello as well, and maybe clear out a little bit of the grass. And, oh yeah, let's let Remiana gather her berries, too, so she doesn't have to worry about something like that, that loner creeping up on her again. Okay, let's see if Raana can, yes, she can catch that mole, and we can let Puka come and gather up the meat there, and Jade can follow and maybe try and dig there. Unfortunately, no such luck though. Tira can step out. Tira is basically the heir to Ghost, and will probably be following her legacy. She doesn't really have those ram horns, which I kind of would like to keep in the line of our healers. I mean, they're pretty different from anything we've seen so far. We don't have a lot of creatures with ram horns. I think it's actually only this line. If we look that up, where are the ram horns? They're in here somewhere. There they are. Okay. So yeah, they actually came from Piper, and only Ghost's line really has them. Although I guess Azure does. Well, Azure and Glen do, or Glen did carry them, and Azure carries them now as well. So maybe Azure would be a good creature to breed into that line at some point. I don't think she could breed with Kuro though. No, they have the same C immunity, so we probably do want to try and avoid that if we do have another option. Maybe it was Azure. I mean, it might be, honestly, it might be worth risking it because they do have that very similar color already. It's almost like she was meant to be a part of this line. So perhaps we will try and breed them. We'll bring Azure very slowly over this way because Ghost is returning to the healing plant here with her young ones to teach them how to guard it. And so that might be a perfect time for Azure and Kuro to step over here and maybe have some babies of their own. Now, I wonder if Midas here, he only has one attack, but maybe Yavanna. Yavanna could kill this bunny. Yes, we'll let Yavanna kill this bunny, and then Midas can step over and gather the meat. But what has me really excited is I just saw who was born here. So we have Vonku. He has D and H immunity, but he has the wing as well. He is our first male born with the wing since Rhoda himself, and basically his arrival here now means that we can actually have we can actually breed some of our creatures to try and get the wing. Now, the question is, does his immunity align well with either of the other winged creatures? So C and H is similar, and D and H is identical. D and B. So, we don't have anyone who's completely unique. We only have Tulip and Ivana, who are similar, but I think that'll be okay. I just want to make sure we did pass on... Well, actually, wait. So, C and H, D, and B. So yeah, these guys represent all the different immunity genes. So if we start breeding these guys, then I think that'll be fine. So we can now... Let's let Ari come over here, perhaps, and she can relieve Remiana of duty. So perhaps Remiana can go find another berry bush. Maybe she'll actually come over here to help Lilia, who kind of wants to return to her original berry bush. Maybe Remiana can help out with that. So we'll bring her over here. Let's make sure Isnara can gather up some of these acorns. Rome can shake the tree again. And we do need to change this baby's name. So I think we're going to go ahead and we'll name him in... Well, I think either Inferno or Fiery. I think I'm going to... Or actually, you know what? I think I'm going to name him Scorch. We'll save that some of the other names because I'm sure we'll have the chance to see them pop up. If we're going to be breeding him with Yavanna and with Tulip, we're going to see more bright red babies. So we don't need to worry too much about that. Let's also let Rose hop over here and maybe say hello to Lilia, because she might end up helping out with some of these berries as well. And how are we actually doing? Your mutation menu is full. Let's look at Rose's just for the sake of looking. How are we actually doing on unlocking the toxic body? We're getting there. So it is a custom in our tribe to let our creatures who are about to pass away gather from the poison berries. And one of the biggest purposes of this is to make sure that we start to unlock the toxic body so that we can give that to our gatherers. That will both defend them and help them be able eventually to gather from the poison berry bushes as well. And so that's a really good thing. Oh, we have a bunny sitting over here. I wonder if the bearyena will end up hunting that down on the next turn. Probably if he stays, it might. Let's see if Hayden and Carno can keep moving along this way. And Hayden is quite slow, a little bit lumbering, but we'll let these guys watch and lurk for a little while to see if that Dodomingo will move, because if it does, they're going to seize that chance. Now, I think out of all of these creatures, I kind of want to see... Willow is pretty young. She's the one who can breed with them, right? Yeah, D and H. So I kind of want to choose which one I think would be the best option. There's really not too much genetic difference between them. It just depends a little bit. Axel has different immunity. I guess we could look at which is more common. You know... I don't know. Vernon almost has that healer coloration a little bit too, but again, he would have danger of... if he did end up breeding with Ghost, he would have a bit of a danger of having sick babies. And I think Ghost has enough children to care for right now. But who knows? Maybe he would end up taking one of the younger healers as a mate eventually. I mean, he is pretty young himself. So who knows what could happen as the time goes on here. I don't think we'll choose Vernon for that reason. I don't know. It's between Axel and Glade. Glade is a lot more reserved, and Axel is much more rambunctious. I don't know. I feel like possibly out of these two, there's not much difference between them. Really, the biggest difference is in the tail and the eye color. And Axel does not have a pattern, of course. Are either of them? Neither one of them is really more or less bearyena, and they both have really good fertility. Honestly, I feel like Glade is a little bit more... Glade and Vernon both are a little bit more... They're a little bit more, I guess... They're kind of calmer. Axel is a little more rambunctious, And I feel like he would be more inclined to go running off and be like, yeah, you know what, like, I feel like he would be drawn to the idea of a very, very strong bearyena mate. And he'd be more likely to kind of just go running off and be like, yeah, you know what, this is my life, I want to choose her as my mate. Whereas, I feel like Glade would be a little bit more, how is this going to benefit the tribe? Is this going to be worthwhile? Maybe I best wait and keep my options open. So I feel like Axel would be the one to just come romping over and to just be like, hello, and introduce himself to Willow here, who might be a little bit surprised. Maybe they can clear out a little of the grass here. We want to leave the nest covered just in case something would happen and a killer bearyena would show up. But yeah, so I feel like I feel like they might get along pretty well. Willow is also a pretty good creature amongst her bearyenas because she has the normal hind legs instead of the bearyena hind legs. She's actually a lot faster than her siblings because of that. And so, and what I'll do here is I'll go ahead and we'll mark, so the heirs will have blue, orange, blue, and the royal mother or father will have, like whoever the heir chooses as mate will have orange, blue, orange. And so Willow will be our new royal mother, I guess. Perhaps we'll end up with two lines. Who knows if one of these other two decides to take a mate, unless they decide to give up their leadership status. That could happen too. We'll have to see. I don't know. I could almost see Vernon being more likely to do that, perhaps, especially since he would have, he would actually be able to potentially breed with Jade, perhaps, and she does carry those ram horns. They both have similar fur color, too. In fact, they actually have the same base color, so who knows? And I think, yeah, that is the same as Ghost, so they do have a lot of those healer traits in them. Perhaps that would be something that would be in Vernon's path down the line. We'll have to see. We'll see how his story may pan out. Now, we do have Kosi and Remy, who are getting older, so we need to, well, Remy is, we need to breed them, so I'm gonna have, okay, there we go. I'm gonna have Remy do that, and then we'll smack the Dodomingo until it moves. Oh, and there's another one right there. I forgot it was a double nest site. But we'll go ahead and let them claim that nest for themselves there. I don't think anybody is getting super old either. And so I don't think we have to worry about anyone passing away. But let's have Glade maybe shake his head at his brother and return to kind of the central camp here. And maybe he can dig up that root. And perhaps Vernon, I don't know if there's any roots over here. There are roots right here that he could dig up, but perhaps he'll kind of poke around curiously with this healing plant. Maybe he can chat with Kuro a little bit and learn what this is all about, because of course having healers is almost as important as having leaders. You've got to have someone who knows what they're doing. And perhaps eventually that will lead to them unlocking the purr snout for the healer line. Who knows? I kind of like the big snout look, but the purr snout would definitely be helpful. We'll have to see. So, and how far would we be from unlocking that? So we have to perform 20 more licks. That's quite a ways out if we ever do get to that point. So let's go ahead, and I think it's about time to start a new day. We will do that here. Let's actually destroy this nest for now, since we won't be actively breeding for a while. We can bring Tulip over here and make sure she and Scorch are protected by their father, Rota. Rota's getting a lot older as well, and so is Ari, so it will be time for them to partake of the poison berries pretty soon too. Ari only has 3 days left, and so both of them can probably give us a little bit more chance to unlock that toxic body. But let's go ahead and we'll start a new day. Alright. Doesn't sound like there's too much danger. That wanderer is still around somewhere, but I can't really tell where. And it looks like Axel may have made a friend. This bearyena came running straight up to him. That's kind of fitting, honestly. I don't know how necessarily comfortable Axel would be with that, but I feel like young bearyenas are probably quite rambunctious, and I could honestly see them just getting this into a huge wrestling match and rolling through the grass together and tackling each other to the ground while Willow maybe shakes her head and moves on a bit. Let's see if we can clear out... Oh no, I forgot to gather the berries. Where is this bunny stealing from us? Uh-oh. Where is this? Oh, it's right over here. Okay, Azure, can you make it over here? No! Oh my goodness. Oh, poor Lilia. Well, she cried out for help, but not quite in time. Let's see if we can have somebody... Oh, maybe... Yes! Oh my goodness. I think Lilia and Rose could get along quite well. Perhaps Rose will look up to her as a sort of mentor at some point here. Because they seem to have rather similar ways of doing things, it seems. So let's have Ghost continue to lead her young ones back over here, and they can head back. She can have them gather around the healing plant as she and Kuro teach them about what this does, and perhaps we could see if Vernon is intrigued here and might come to listen. Rain, why don't you go ahead and try and take out this bunny? Oh no, where's the other bunny stealing from? I don't even see where this is. Is it down here? Oh, it is. Oh my goodness, Rochiu. You haven't had to face bunnies for so long. I didn't even realize there were any still. That's not any good. Oh, and there was one right up there too. They're certainly becoming a bit of a plague. Perhaps Vernon will be able to help out with that. Oh, don't you dare. Ari's gonna... Oh, it did try. But Ari ended up taking a swipe at it here. I think Rota could actually make his way over here and possibly help with this bunny situation. Let's see if Midas can finish it off now. There we go. Because we can make sure that Tulip protects little Scorch, and Ivana can come over here as well and make sure that all is going well. Remiana has the same immunity as Scorch, and so we don't really want her to end up being the breeding creature there. So let's come over this way and make sure that she can kind of help out over here with Lilia and Rose. So perhaps Rose would want to follow Lilia back over here, because I think she will now that Remiana has arrived to possibly handle this berry bush. I think Lilia might want to return to her secluded little forest glade here. It has a lot of memories for her. It was where she first met Roku and where she raised their sons. So she has a lot of memories there, and I think she enjoys being a little bit peacefully away from the tribe. Not that it's not always nice to have the protection, but it can get a little bit rowdy and rambunctious sometimes. So that might not be that might not be her ideal places in this. It might not be in the center of the action. Now we have, oops, I clicked Remy instead. We have little Kirvan, who's got a really unique looking mask. It's brown on red. I haven't seen that for a while. Instead of that striking black, it looks like he got his mother's coloration for the mask, and then his father's base color pretty much a little bit shifted from there. So let's go ahead and change Kirvan's name, and I think what would be a good name for him? Maybe maybe we'll call him... be a good name for him. I think we may end up calling him... I think I'm gonna call him Pine. That's a name you guys submitted. And with that brown mask, he kind of does remind me a little bit of a pine tree in some ways. It's a little bit of a stretch. Oh, and perfect. Kosi can move over here, and we can make sure we get that Dodomingo out of the way. There's so many of them. Oh my goodness. Tavi, why don't you take a swipe at this one as well? And then maybe she can step down here and we can take a look at little baby Kirta, who has the cracker jaw. Oh my goodness. Okay, H and A. Now, which of our other creatures in the tribe have the cracker jaw? Let's see here. Now, we know Isnara does. Ooh, sorry about that. We know Isnara does, but she's about to pass away. And Puka has it. So Puka could probably breed with a female C&K. So if we had a creature, a female born with A and H, then we could breed them. So I think that's what we'll end up trying for. And see if we can pass that on. But a little Kirta here, let's see if we can name him as well. We'll go ahead and I think we're going to call him Byron. That's just a name that I saw scrolling by here through my list. And I feel like it suits him. So let's bring Alex up here to kind of keep an eye on him and make sure he's all right. And then on the next turn, we'll see if Tavi can have another baby. She is getting pretty old too, so we want to make sure that we have babies with her as soon as we can. And Tay is also getting quite old. She only has 3 days left, so I almost wonder if she would ask Carno to come and take her place here. Maybe we'll bring her over here so she can spend some time with her sister and her sister's family. And Carno and Hayden can kind of hang out over here. There's a lot of things to potentially try and catch around here. There's often bunnies. There can be a lot of these dodomingos. And so that could be a good place for Hayden and Carno to hang out. Now, let's take a look over here. And I don't think there's too much we've got left to do. I think perhaps, I don't know. I think Kuro perhaps might want to, well, I don't think have we really found anyone? Possibly, oh yeah, potentially Azure, right? Well, she's still over here, so I think we might have Kuro step away a little bit and see if he can make his way this way. I think he would probably tell Glade there's a route right there for him to dig up, and then head over to this this nest here, because he has caught sight of a distant creature and a scent of a distant creature who intrigues him, and that would be Azure. Now, let's make sure we get Azure's mutation menu set. We definitely want those bearyena hind legs out of her mutation menu, or out of her. We want her to not pass them on if possible. And we definitely want to see if we can get that better fertility in there, but I think those are her biggest negative traits. She does have the bearyena claw and the deformed paw as well, so hopefully we can make sure that we get those out over the generations too. It's kind of interesting, a meeting of a healer and of a warrior. That's not something you see every day. So let's see if anybody else really has moves left. Oh yeah, we were gonna... Oh, Glade doesn't have any left, so we did bring him over there, I guess. I guess I forgot we did that already. Now, Axel has some left. Is there anything he can dig up? Not really. But I think that's a poisonberry bush right there. Yeah, I think he wouldn't be overly interested in that and would just end up heading back to the bearyena. He wasn't close enough to pounce on that bunny, unfortunately. And maybe Raana would creep this way, hearing the sounds of some bunnies in the grass. Now, I think that's honestly about it for this turn. Yeah, I don't see too much left. Kosi is pregnant, so that's good. Yeah, I don't see too much left to be done this turn, so I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up here for today, because unfortunately it is about that time again. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. But until then, this is Jay, over and out.